I wanted to talk this morning a little bit about the secular, longer-term view of where we think things are headed in the United States and really the world, and some of the pressures we've seen on a macroeconomic scale globally going back over the last 12 or 13 years. Now, if you've been investing in the equity market, the stock markets, for the last 12 years after inflation, as measured by the S&P 500 price index, you've actually lost money. In other words, your dollar today is worth less than it was 12 years ago as far as purchasing power. This is the fourth time this has happened, this phenomena, since the year 1900. And these periods of time, these long-term secular periods where stock prices struggle, some view this as, call these environments long-term secular bear markets. We've been in a secular bear market since the year 2000, actually March of the year 2000. These periods of time normally are surrounded by very strenuous periods of high stress in the world where the economies are really struggling to gain traction. And they're centered around periods where, even from a political standpoint, the world is going through significant changes. Know that there's been three periods like what we've just come through since the year 1900. We're dealing with the fourth now. These periods historically have lasted between 12 and 15 years. And now we're approaching the 13th year of this secular bear market. And so statistically speaking, this is a normal environment to expect once every 2 or 3 decades. And we've gone through this. This time around, the problem that the world is facing is centered on a shift in the overall global economic growth profile, where a lot of the world's production power has moved from the developed economies, ourselves, the Europeans and the Japanese, to the developed economies. This shift started back in 1985, and so this isn't anything new. But in combination with that, those three developed areas, ourselves, the Europeans and the Japanese, levered balance sheets to the upside in the face of this loss of economic power. So the combination of a loss of economic power and excess creation of leverage, of debt, has led to the problem we're in right now.